Hello guys and welcome to the Hypercar release party. Guys, welcome to Le Mans Ultimate. Welcome to our very first episode in driving the Hypercars publicly here. Guys, I'm excited. I can't wait to get hands on these Hypercars. They are a blast just from looking at it. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get going in our race weekends. So we said we start with Sebring and with the hypercar, of course. And we're gonna go with the Ferrari there. Gonna pick the 50. And we want to enable a little bit of multi-class racing for you guys. I also want to show you that RaceLab app is working. And then we have the possibility to, yeah, you know, we will just run with default cars, some good opponents, and then actually get going. So just let me quickly have a look again. We want to start on green and have this evolving a little bit. Let's start on green and let's get a real road down. I'm probably going to drive every car for roughly an hour, maybe a little less, depending on how this goes. Anyway, guys, we're going to start off with a Ferrari 499P LMDh hypercar. And we're going to have a little bit into look at the setups. We're going to have looks in many different aspects. And, well, maybe we're gonna enjoy a little bit of side-by-side racing with the AI and the multi-class here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining and welcome to the stream, everyone. Now looking into loading the car or loading the track for the first time always takes a little bit. So we have to be a little bit patient there with the game, but eventually we're gonna get there. L Raptor, greetings. Treat my all-time favorite of all hypercars well. Yeah, I'm trying to not put it into the wall, but I can't promise that it won't happen. It's Sebring. It's bumpy. We're gonna out with the default setup, and we're gonna see cold tires effect on the hypercars. Hypercars do have the most technologically advanced tire model in, but still. So, before I get going here, I want to see. Yeah, I thought so. So I quickly need to check where is live timing. Bear with me for a moment. RaceLab app, there we go. Deactivate when the source is not visible. Activated. Let's see if that reappears. Brilliant. So you guys have a little bit of a look, at least into the top 5 of each section. And yeah, we're gonna check out the car setup. It is a default setup, nothing's changed on it. 200 regen, 100 electric motor map, traction control is in, gear ratio is short, 90 liters of fuel to begin with. We're gonna keep this all the very same, maybe if only maximum brake pedal force. Suspension settings, dampers are gonna be a thing here, and last but not least we have chassis and aero. Anyway, guys, let's get going driving. Oh yeah, the AI is making my picture at least a bit choppy. I hope it's not that choppy for you guys. Let me see if we're dropping any frames whatsoever. Are we dropping the frames or is it fine? Guys, let me know if we're dropping frames, please. I'm trying to have this not be a thing here, but I can't guarantee it. So this is going to be the slowest approach into Sunset Bend ever attempted by anyone in a hypercar, because cold tires are such a thing here. You really need to be extremely careful. Ooh, it's barely even drivable for me. Maybe I should have not attempted that with ultra settings, right? Yeah, guys, you know what? I am very sorry, but I quickly have to restart this. Because this is not going too well, which means that is an important indication for me as well. I'm gonna deal with that later, though. I just go to reset the session, and I disable the other car classes, the AI, basically. This shall be a hypercar stream anyway, so we just take care about the hypercar, right? Okay, so with that fixed, we should get going straight away again. Did I even change something on the setup? I think I just went out straight away with the brake settings. Okay, we're gonna check the brake settings again. Yeah, you see the game not 100% yet optimized. Also for a high-end setup. Better said, it's also a bit dodgy of me trying to stream this with ultra settings. But of course, for you guys, I want to get a good quality out. So, single player driving it is. Espla Honda, hello and welcome. Thank you everyone for joining. So, let's take out this Ferrari Hypercar. And yeah, guys, I'm really interested to see what you think. Let me know about the hypercars in the comments area below. If you're watching this as a video on demand, let me know in the chat. But especially all the comments you guys have, I would appreciate them in the comments area as well, so that they get tracked, because the chat obviously gets removed after the stream. So it would be absolutely fascinating to have you guys with a little bit of your thoughts in the comments area. Anyway, guys, we're going around Sebring for the very first time. Sadly, I've still got the rear road on green, so there won't be that much grip, but it's fine. Guys, out of the next turn, have a close listen. As soon as we hit 190 kph on the speedometer. Ah, the yelling of the electric motor. I'm gonna put it back to 100. I need to find a good balance for sure, as in how much deploy to run there. Max Ferrari, hello and welcome. So let's have a look then onto tires. 53 degrees on the medium here. Sebring has been a low tire wear track on R Factor 2, very much so. And I think we all see the similarities between the R Factor 2 version and this one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have low tire wear here as well, which also means low friction and low speed up and rise of temperatures in the tires. Basilios, yes, it's very similar to RF2. Hello Ruben, how are you doing? Sadly missed turn 1 there. Yeah, Ruben, then I hope you can enjoy watching the stream a little bit. Hey Jan, how are you doing? Oh, that Ferrari power on the rear axis. gotta say, this standard setup is pretty decent, pretty stable, whilst still very basic. Let's see, I need to somehow get the tire temperature up. 64 degrees is not great enough. You will see probably a okayish lap time to begin with, and I guess we're gonna peak in performance on the lap time. Maybe 3 or 4, even 5 laps into the stint. Let's check it. Yeah, Ruben, I had an awesome day so far on the Le Mans Ultimate platform. Whee, the understeer. Got 2 competition races in already. Had a fierce battle with James Baldwin, a Mercedes driver himself. Had a fierce battle in the Ferrari GTE. Happily, both time pole, both time P1. We need to do one more competition system race in order to be eligible to run the Hypercars in the competition system, which is target for tonight as well. So, me not losing out, missing out on the apex here. So guys, do you see a straight difference in terms of driving compared to R Factor 2? And I hope you do. It is most blatant and most obvious on these hypercars, what I'm trying to point at, but I'll let you guys have a couple of guesses first before I salute my before I put out the solution of what I'm looking for in terms of your answer. No, CSB Simracing, I'm having good FFB. What is your issue with the FFB? Terje says it's not that deadly. Yes, tire sounds are a bit interesting indeed. There is more this kind of scrubbing sound that's going on instead of the actual squealing. But you see, tires are now gripping up, especially through sunset. Dan Suzuki with the Giga Raid. 683 people. Thank you so much, Dan. What are you doing? And how did you like your first taste of Le Mans Ultimate? Yeah guys, welcome everyone to our release party of the Hypercars. We've just started. We're gonna take out the Ferrari 499P Hypercar around Sebring, as we're already doing it. Then we're gonna jump into the Peugeot 9XA, the car without a rear wing. And then we're gonna jump into the Porsche 963 around Portimao, I think. That has the public vote been the most 3 favorite hypercars, the most 3 favorite tracks. And here we go. But it's great to hear that you loved it. I heard a couple of guys, and with a couple of guys I mean majority of reviews on Steam is already negative, which is something yeah, it is an early access, don't expect the full game, but either way. CSB Sim Racing, thank you so much for a 12 euros straight super chat donation here on the YouTube channel. Really appreciate your support, thank you so much. Yeah, to all the viewers that come over from Dan Suzuki, my name is Michi Hoyer. I am an R Factor 2 eSport expert, and I hope that Le Mans Ultimate is going to be our next big thing in the future. So with that, you'll find me mostly streaming R Factor 2 content, or in the future now also Le Mans Ultimate content, and this is what this channel is all about. So I really appreciate all your follows and subscriptions on the YouTube channel and on Twitch, and thank you so much for the support. Can I explain the hybrid settings? Yes I can, and I will do that in a dedicated video which airs tomorrow. I have already recorded it. It's sadly a 40-minute video, but we don't just scratch it on the surface, we go deep into the detail, as in what this hybrid system is all about, how this hybrid system is working, what challenges this hybrid system might have ready for us, and I hope you guys are gonna like it. There will also be a short version from it, but I've done one version that will kill it all, sadly. Simracing, Saza, Dinry, Albush, thank you so much for the follow, and yeah, all the other guys that have hit the follow button, thank you so much as well. Thank you for the support, and welcome to the Hypercar release party here on Le Mans Ultimate. So, guys, I think this is lap, it says somewhere on the dash, I think it's lap 6 that we're doing already. And what do we see on the tire temperature? We're on the medium tire, we need to have it at 97 degrees for optimum working condition. And we're at 75. So we're gonna finish that lap, then trying to bring temperature into the tire and see how it goes. Understeer from the electric motor on the front axis. Yes, we need the four-wheel drive to pull the car straight out of final turn. Okay, so let's get some temperature into these tires. I have said that before, Sebring has been historically a track with low intensity on the tires. And that might hurt us here a little bit when it comes to tire performance. So we had 75 degrees on the tire core. I need to also spin the rears a little bit. I'm gonna do that out of the hairpin. Do I have some guide for cockpit cam settings as well? Gerhard, what exactly are you looking for in a guide like that? Oh, got a little bit more temperature in now. Yes, we also have scrubbed these mediums a little bit, but they should still have good amount of rubber left. Yes, Terje, that is the key difference on the new Hypercar tire model. You need tire temperature for them to really work. And I hope that I have not scrubbed them too hard now, and can give you a good example for that with an improved lap time. Obviously, 75 degrees is not that bad of a value, but when the tires are designed to work best at 95 to 100 degrees, then I expect at least a half a second time gain. So, rear tires are still cold. Let's get them up to heat. A couple of burnouts, and then go for a new lap. Simracing Saza, I'm using an Elgato Facecam Pro for recording screen here. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what hot tires can do for us. And even if they can do something for us here. Still on the steer. Form UK, Fiener and Simone del Signore, thank you very much for your follows, guys. Oh my god. Some new feature on the Hypercar tire model. You lock them up, you just go straight. Brian, there is a massive difference compared to the iRacing tire model in cold conditions, and we're gonna see that later on with the Porsche at Portimao. In cold conditions and cold tire situations, this tire is just, it has no grip. It has no grip on the front, it has no grip on the rear, it's just really slow and really lazy. And I think this is amazing. This is what a cold tire should do. This is very much how it looks in reality too, and I think even in reality the guys have even less grip than what we have here. Oh, sadly we have lost a couple of degrees of tire temperature, which means maybe it's time to just keep the rhythm up. Let's try harder again. You see immediately traction controls kicking in, no drift slide anymore, no chance for our Factor 2 driving styles here. Yeah, I need to get off the brake to get the car moving on the front. This time it is really good into turn 1. I need to brake earlier, because trail braking is just causing the understeer. That is due to the hybrid system. Yeah, no, we're just half a tenth off here. Too late on the brakes. Still, our lap is not dead yet. With a little bit more tire temperature in, 2.5 tenths, we can make that up. And you see certainly on the front, brake performance is getting better, as there is more tire grip available for the brakes to deal with, so we can brake a bit harder. Oh, the front end is really biting, and here you see the 10 degrees difference on the front tire into the entry of this turn 15. Front end bites just that little bit harder, giving us a better exit now. So we can improve this lap. We improved also the tire temperatures a little more. So what I'm going to do, since the front end is giving me a bit too much understeer, and here you really see the high tire temperatures. I'm gonna put brake bias a bit further to the back. Flame04, thank you for the follow. No understeer this time, thanks to early enough braking. Yeah guys, I think it's quite evident. This is a new tire model. We are in the 10th lap and we're still improving the lap times. And we have lost already like 11 or 12% of rubber. So you know, in R Factor 2, no way in hell you would go faster and faster every lap still. Yeah, this is the front end grip that I want, that I need. Tires now in the core at 84 and 80, so the balance should be good as well. Car turns around, traction control bites in, kicks in. Yeah, you can't drift slide these machines anymore. And I really hope that they will gonna pick this tire model and put it to the GTEs and the LMPs as well. And I think we can even go a bit further back with the brake migration. That is a tool that alternates the brake bias and a couple of more clicks back with the actual brake bias, so that we have even more front ends despite trail braking and less danger of locking up. Yeah guys, this is the balance that I'm starting to look for. Bit too much of a slide. Yes, every class has TC. The GTE I think has power cut, power slip and the standard traction control. The LMP only has a traction control and a traction control cut that is linked to the slip angle. And here for the Hypercar, maybe I can show in the electronics tab, the top 3 positions should be the traction control, so traction control, cut and slip. And in fact, I think the cut is a bit too much. Maybe also we can reduce the slip a little bit. That would give us a little bit more leeway as in getting sideways. Yeah, this time traction control doesn't cut in as early anymore. Gives us a little bit of a better exit. Can now push the brakes into Sunset Bend. Turn the car around and hope for its turbo to kick on. There it is. It's another improvement. 48.7. That is simply too late. Alright. Let's have a couple of looks into the setup. And into your questions, of course. Resume to the garage. I'm not sure if it's really that close, but certainly the second lap should be faster than the first lap, as we're gonna see once again when we now go out of pit road, we're gonna restart on cold tires and we're gonna be on the medium again. And as much as I'm now going to hopefully improve the setup with a couple of clicks, and let me quickly explain what I'm going to do. Power to a bit more stable, coast a lot more open so the car rotates a lot better. I'm gonna go down with the slip angle a bit. I'm gonna leave the region level as it is. Here on the brake bias, I put at least the values that I just had in the end. Front brake duct planking, I'm gonna put that a bit up because the region motor on the front is working, of course. So, on the suspension side of things, tricky. Do I really want to do something? Because I think the car's overall stability is fine. Maybe it's a bit too twitchy on the rear. So I'm going to put the right height a click lower. And on the aero, let's put the anti-roll bar one click stiffer. That should help us a little bit into high-speed turns. And then on the suspension, I keep the rest relatively basic. And guys, you now will see how twitchy cold tires can be. Look at pit exit. At iRacing, this is how cold tires should feel. As you can see, and I'm gonna quickly speed this up a little bit. That button is still available. Check out, in comparison, you can see a little bit here on the wheel. Check out how slow the first lap is going to be. Entry into Sunset. No grip. And we're going like 50, 60 kph slower. And the rear end just doesn't simply quickly die on us. At iRacing, this is what a tire model should look like in cold conditions. We simply don't have the grip, that's fine, that is what we need to work around with. Thankfully the surface temperature comes up relatively quick. But you see how much more slow we are. I'm gonna put the tire tab on. 42 degrees is the current core temperature. Oh no, Jarne. Nice there with the system. Not sure if he's still there. Anyway, I think the best way to show you what it is with those cold tires is when we're just going to start the lap, right? With 50 degrees right now. And there you will see the major difference. Let's see how... Oops. Yeah, that brake migration maybe that up again. 1.0 to the front. The harder we brake, up to 1%. The brake bias is moved to the front. Alright, Yanni, have a good one. Yeah, CSB Simracing and everyone else, there's also a video with all the new features compared to R Factor 2 that is coming your way. I plan to release that tomorrow as well. already working on it. But for the time being, we care about the live stream and about the hypercars. So let's see what the lap 1 with 58 degree temperature tires looking like. Oh, yeah. Have you seen that snap? Rear tires be like, hello, I'm not ready to work yet. Yes, Sam, I do not know yet. I hope that Le Mans Ultimate will put out a roadmap telling you when this VR support will be the case. So, 4.5 tenths down. And you see, there's just not much that I can do. There is simply not more grip available. It's not like I'm missing apexes. It's not like I'm sleeping on the exits. 4.5 tenths down still. Noraflex, thank you for the follow and welcome. And I think here in high-speed turns it's most evident. Into 14, the car's just skidding, same with 16 on the exit. Of course we have a little bit of a fresher tire, but still, tire temperature is now at 67 and we're 4.5 tenths off. This is nothing that would have ever worked in R-Factor 2. R-Factor 2 at this stage, you would have had a PB by maybe 6 or 7 tenths if we would compare ourselves to a lap time put in 11th lap on the stint. So for 5400s are missing half a second. Let's see how long it takes to get the tire into the working range. That is a bit wide. Yes, we have a little bit of a lap time advantage for the moment, but don't be yourself too sure that this is going to be the lap already. And there is still wiggling. Olaf Wolfen, the hybrid system is working 100% automatically. All that you can do on the hybrid is either turn it on or off in general and manage the deploy settings. I'm gonna bring that up in a moment. Quickly gonna change the scene for that so that you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe you can already see here. So if I go back to the menu, can you read out the region level and the motor map? Can someone read that out to me? What it says there down in the HUD, as we are only 2 tenths behind our lap time. Callum, you cannot read it. It's too small. And it could well be. That's why I'm asking. I'm not sure how good that camera really responds. Okay, you can read it, so you either can do it here, or I have obviously buttons assigned, so here I turn up and down the motor map, as in the level of deploy that we have, what I want to have. The hybrid, or the E motor, kicks in at a speed of 190, that is a BOP regulation for the Ferrari. I can also just put the onboard camera here real quick so that you guys can see a bit better what I'm talking about. If you watch the battery sign above 190 kph in 4th gear, it comes to life and produces power on the front tires, so it is a 4-wheel drive in that moment. Here's a 2-wheel drive on the rear. Now it's a 4-wheel drive with... Sorry, wrong button. Well, now with 100 kilowatts on the front. What is important though, guys, and that is really important, you need to understand that this hybrid is not a performance hybrid, it's an efficiency hybrid. So if I turn off the motor map right there, watch the delta on the top right. It's still identical, and that is because the electric engine is only taking off the load from the internal combustion engine. So the internal combustion engine is able to produce I don't know, I think it's 530 kilowatts in terms of power. But the moment I come onto the back straight now, out of third gear, the very same moment I hit the throttle, 190, 100, 200, and turn on 200 kilowatts of electric energy, the internal combustion engine is being reduced by 200 kilowatts. And now, under the speed of 190 kph, the rear engine is producing full power again, and now 200 kilowatts less again. And as you've seen, the hybrid obviously helps with the balance, especially in the exit of these high-speed turns. I was completely sideways out of Sunset Bend, and as soon as the hybrid kicked on, the transmission changed. I had a little bit of power from the front, and this was helping me, like a traction control, just pulling the car straight again. So this is an active part for setting up the car, for example in Spa, when you are talking about the exit of Kuhon, exit of Stavalo. You really need that front wheel driven car in order to fully perform, and in order to have a good cornering there in that high speed turns. So yes, Pelham, you are using less fuel, and I'm gonna demonstrate that to you as well in this view as we are switching over to fuel. Can't see it right now, but we're gonna do 2 different laps, and then you will see quite quickly the difference between full deploy and no deploy in terms of the fuel usage. Remember, we have 2.4 liters consumed with, you know, a little bit of both. Well, it is hopefully same virtual energy, but it is not. I have explained that in the video about the hybrid system. Anyway, we're coming to the lap, to the next lap. And what I'm going to do is, for the lap, maximum electric engine. Look how the hybrid, how the four-wheel drive is kind of correcting the car itself. So we used 2.3 liters last lap. Turn. So battery almost empty, 35% remaining. Maybe we can even make this the new PB after the setup changes. Simply because we're starting to push the tires right now. Let me see about that temperature. Close to 80, still a little colder than last time when we've put the actual PB. I think we're getting into a good rhythm as well. And then I think it's time for us to park the car and go on with the next hypercar. Oh, battery is now depleted. No further deploy, and you see at the top right corner the delta still remains the same. We should still have a chance to make this a PB. The issue is just now we're lacking the front end engine yet to pull us straight. Sorry about the bonk. So, 2.1 liters. Engine off. Not engine off, but e-motor off. So 1 lap completely on the internal combustion engine only. Pelham, I don't know. I have asked for the damage screen to get it, but it was an active decision to remove it for whatever reason. I have no idea. So you see the car still getting faster as the temperature of the tire is creeping up. And it's now that high speed bit where we may really miss the front end motor pulling us out of corners. So last lap we used 2.1 liter of combustion engine fuel. Let's see what it is this lap. And I guess that you see I'm not driving it much slower or whatsoever. In fact, it's pretty much close to being identical lap time in the end. And with a 2.1 liter we could make it 34.4 laps still. Let's see after this lap then though. On car turn. Yes. So perfect example. That lap was even a bit faster, but we burned 2.6 liters of fuel. At I think still a reasonably same virtual energy being consumed. That is 2.6 liters here. Let's see what it is with the motor map on. As the virtual energy is going to be the same, or should in a perfect world be the same. As the virtual energy gets measured in power that runs into the powertrain as such. One Punchin Man, thank you so much for the follow and welcome. Hey yo, Terry Sanders, how you doing? Yeah guys, and if you have appreciated the insight, if you have appreciated the additional information here about the hybrid, then please have us a follow on Twitch and subscribe us on the YouTube channel. Especially guys on the YouTube channel, that is the place to be for all the new tutorials, for all the new videos and insight that we're going to do about Le Mans Ultimate in the near future. Attila Buxi, thank you so much for the follow and welcome. So one more lap just to finish it and then we're gonna go box. Beautiful. Ferraris, awesome. Like these hypercars, I could go on and on and on and on for laps. Have you seen the fuel prediction? Instead of 34 point whatever it was last lap, it would have been 28. So there is a distance difference of 5.5 laps. Once again, it's more about virtual energy rather than the actual fuel. So virtual energy 2.7 now, and a bit more fuel being used as well. So we're gonna park the car. Sichoid, yep. Sorry, Sichoid, this is the Ferrari 499P LMDh Hypercar. Cadillac is not on the menu for today, and we're gonna jump into the Porsche 9X8 in Le Mans in a couple of moments, and then we're gonna put out the Porsche 963 around Portimao. Those are the two hypercars remaining on today's menu, as you guys had the opportunity to vote your top 3 favorite cars and your top 3 favorite tracks. Those were the winners. The Cadillac sounds great indeed. Just for sound reasons, I can load up the Cadillac for a lap in Le Mans. I can do that. Well, not the lap, but going down the straight ones. Sichosit, as far as I'm aware, controller support is available and is a thing and shall be improved compared to R Factor 2. Oh! Listen to that sound. So immersive. Record. Excite issue. Right. Return to garage. That does it for the Ferrari 499. Guys, let me know what you think about the car down in the comments area below. Really interested to have your thoughts. Right. Circuit de la Sarthe Hypercar. Just because you asked for the sound, we picked the Caddy for a brief moment. Quickly in the advanced options, I put at least heavy railroads. There we go. No other cars because we need the full performance. This had nothing to do with netcode. That is an object issue that we just saw there. Yes, it's a quick sound demo of the V8. Yeah, guys, once again, if you appreciate the content tonight, please subscribe us on the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, follow these channels for more Le Mans Ultimate content. Since... Oh, so great, right? Since we love Le Mans Ultimate, we love R-Factor 2, guys, this is the place to be for you, as this will be our future content for sure. Axio and NDLZ, thank you so much for your guys' follows on the Twitch channel. Hear that American roar. Axio, yes, this is indeed an ultra-wide. What a sound. Saying hi there, I'm going to race in both simulations. You mean the Camaro NASCAR? So also in this car we have a quick exterior look on the sound. Crazy good. Anyway, we're here for the Peugeot, so we're gonna jump out of the car. Race weekend, Le Mans, Hypercar, Peugeot, car without a rear wing. Let's go. So we have a little of a special effect on the Hypercar on the Peugeot. As the car has it has no rear wing. It has a rear wing like shaped rear end of the car, but effectively it has no rear wing. What it has instead, though, to make up for the missing rear wing is, if you go to the setup, this car has a front diffuser, and despite this is Le Mans, I'm going to put it at least on 2, as I want to have a little bit of a front end, right? Apart from that, I'm going to keep it as well in the standard configuration. And what you need to know about this Hypercar is allowed to turn on its hybrid or its electric motor at 150 kph already. That's a straight difference compared to the Ferrari and the Toyota. And as soon as the hybrid turns on, we have a little bit of a green light on the steering wheel. Big Man Joe, thank you for the follow and welcome. Yeah, you can't do that with the Peugeot here because its four-wheel drive is already turned on so early. Yeah guys, and if you want to support the stream further than just being a follower or a subscriber, consider the option to become a member on our YouTube channel to enjoy custom emotes, or become a subscriber on the Twitch channel, also for custom emotes. That would be massively appreciated. And of course, if you guys feel like a donation is something that is what we deserve, then you'll find a link for a direct donation in the video description on YouTube or on the channel description on Twitch. Dozens, thank you for a raid with a party of 7 here. Welcome to the Le Mans Ultimate. Why is... what have I forgotten? Yes. I should have changed something else in the setup. My bad. Brakes. 100%. Not that much what I thought it unlocking here. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have to go again. Bezardino, hello. Yes, it's fun. It has a lot of issues, but it is early access, and this sums it up very well. My stream, or my software, like you guys know, I have worked with the software a couple of hours already, and to get it to the stability where it is, you need to find some ways and some turnarounds. Like sometimes it's just good to restart the game just to make sure, but I think everyone that has watched my videos today, yesterday, and not yesterday, this afternoon, and the streams in the late afternoon, we have not ran into big issues. We have ran into issues that are considerably alright for an early access, unlike many other people. But again, of course, with knowing so much about rFactor 2, I know exactly what I'm doing here. Name's Luca, thank you for your tier 1 subscription for 17 months on the Twitch channel. Much appreciated. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that other people don't know what they're doing. That's not it, but trust me, when you have 6,800 playing hours on rFactor 2, which is known for having a lot of issues as well, you start shifting your mindset into a different direction. You are kinda not wondering about the glitches, you're more like, okay, what could this potentially be caused by? And then find a solution, try not to have it. Which is, in some cases, not tapping out too much, running the game in full screen, don't overload it with clicks and stuff like that. Maybe I have 7,000 in the meanwhile, but I think it's 6,700, 6,800, something like that. Yeah, let's face it, I think it has the same stability, at least in rFactor 2 lately, so... Moritz Lerner with a giga rate of 197, thank you so much. And congrats for becoming a BMW M competition driver. Was it? No, M Motorsport, sorry about that, just saw the announcement this morning. Congrats, and good to see that BMW is back with an official engagement somewhere. Ooh. Almost four-wheel drift into Indy. Arguably, that car has a lot worse brakes than a Ferrari. What do you think of Le Mans Ultimate? Saw you in the LMP2 race a couple of hours before. Chat okay, thank you for the follow, and welcome. Lipstream GG, what is the force feedback like? If you like the force feedback of rFactor 2, you will find yourself to 80-90% happy, because it's very similar to it. I personally think the front end is too dead. You can't really feel what the front end is doing. Best example for that is if you take Hypercars out in Spa, turn 1. La Source is like you have a little bit of a hole where the car drops through on the apex, And when the car drops down there, you can see it dropping down, you can also hear it dropping down, but the force feedback is not being changed or not being shocked by it at all, despite the car, you know, when it bumps down onto the road, there should be some effect. And so the front end to me seems a bit dead and missing, but if I put the car into a slide or into a sideways moment, I absolutely feel it, and I think that is what the force feedback is all about. A number ranking? You mean like ELO rating system, the number behind it? Well, I know for the fact that this is somewhere in the background, but it's not displayed. But yeah, I hear you. We should put it onto the feature list. Would be something that would be nice for R-Factor 2 as well, of course. Yeah, the menus are maybe a little bit... let's put it like this, they can be optimized, I guess. Marcus, this game is bugging out like crazy for me. We can help you. What kind of issues you're dealing with? Make use of the Discord, of the official Discord. The people will surely be helpful there. Is that too late on the brakes? Got to say that car is stable compared to the Ferrari, and it's almost understeery, so maybe I need to crank up that front splitter a little bit more. Slipstream GG, what are the major differences from the Peugeot to the Ferrari? One of the differences I've just mentioned. Another difference is I think the Peugeot is a bit down on top speed. Something else to note is that the Peugeot has the regeneration. Does it have the regeneration? I think on the rear end, whereas the Ferrari has it on the front. So I think the Peugeot is rather oversteering into dray braking zones at times. I would need to figure this out. This is just from the top of my head. A biggest difference, of course, is that the electric engine pops to life at 150 kph already. Yeah, and the car's brakes are a bit worse, to be honest, compared to the Ferrari. The Ferrari has more deceleration momentum, and if you want to really enjoy crazy brakes, you need to put to run out the clicking house. Goodness me, the clicking house has a braking performance that's beyond mad. I think it can brake 10 meters later at Spa into Le Combe as any other hypercar, while almost having the same or even higher top speed. It's crazy. Garage build, yes, of course it has already bad reviews out on Steam. I'm not surprised by that. Well, a bit. I would have appreciated if people had a little bit more patience and acceptance for it being an early access title, but whatever. None of my business. Steam reviews do mean kind of little bit, especially if you know the history of MSG and everyone being a bit skeptical about, and if I'm like, you know, I let this game being out on the market for, damn it, for a couple of months and then a couple of weeks and then look at it and I'll be like, oh, on Steam it doesn't have a good review, so I'm not gonna buy it. But let's see. I hope that we can prove them wrong. Again, this is early access. A lot of fixes are already promised and already mentioned. Yeah, I mean, guess why this is not mentioned? If they don't have to mention it, why would you mention a brand that has a negative marketing perception? Eco, I'm afraid to a certain extent that this is the case, yes. Sadly. But okay, I mean, RF2 and Studio 397 got to the point somehow. It's not like it's absolutely unjustified, but I think Studio 397 has improved its way of work big time. Angus May, thank you for the subscription on the YouTube channel. Much appreciated. You know, I'm gonna put this quote, or not quote, but sorry, I should probably also change the scene. Bear with me. I'm gonna put out this sentence once more. You guys remember what has happened after last Le Mans Virtual Series, where Max Verstappen just had a massive rage quit on RF2. Imagine Max Verstappen today plays Le Mans Ultimate, his game crashes 8 times in a row. He roasts the studio and the game again. Whether out of those 8,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 live viewers are Simracing people or not, it will give a marketing impact. And this is what concerns me about, because so many streamers have been live today. I've seen, I think, over 2,500, maybe 3,000 spectators at 3 PM on an R Factor 2-like title, watching a stream. And if just 50% of these guys is like, this is BS, we shouldn't play it, it's not worth it, then these 50% is going to follow that, right? This is what influencers marketing voice is all about. Mudclub5 and Motorsports UK Esports, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome everyone. Yeah guys, but I mean, for me, the game is working fine. Yes, there are some issues, there are things that needs to be improved, 100%, but let's face it, it is an early access, and I mean, it's great. Personally, I think it's great. It's so much fun. Hypercars are a blast, the tire model is the best. Yes, I'm mad enough to say this now, while cutting that stupid chicane again. The tire model on the Hypercars is the best tire model Simracing has ever seen. Period. I'm not going to argue about it. We have shown you with a Ferrari at Sebring already. We will use soft tire in cold conditions, hard tire in harder conditions, and they will be both somewhat competitive. We see endurance tires. We don't see esport drift slide anymore. If you start drift sliding with those machines on this tire model, you die. You die. It is not like R Factor 2 where you throw the car in and just, I don't know, hoover the rear around the corners. If you do it in the Hypercars, no chance you're gonna survive it. It's going to be, you can survive it, but it's going to be slow. So, real driving, good driving, balanced driving, like into the chicane, are following the line, having stable exits or not stable exits. And you see, in R Factor 2, this would have not been an issue. This would have gone the one way and then the other way, and then the car would have just straightened out, got superior speed. But with a new tire model it does not, and I think this is one of the biggest point of criticism that Studio 397 had with the tire model R Factor 2, and this is fixed. This is one of the best tires that I've ever driven, 100%. Mudblab, make sure to check your button bindings. It seems to be there is an issue that per default the escape button is allocated to the HUD toggle. HUD toggle for me is I think now 6. Yeah. This could be a known issue, and then what I advise you is do all the button mappings before, do the graphic settings not too high, like high on the filters and the details, and turn off the special effects as much as possible, and then configure that once, and don't go into a session but restart the game, so the game writes everything in its cache file, in its storage file. Fire up the game again and get going. And of course you guys are always able to reach out to me if you have any issues whatsoever with the game. We're gonna speak about it. Eric, to me the game is worth it to get it now. Remember, it is 30 euros, I think, on today. On full release it's going to be much more expensive, so if you buy it right now, you not only give Studio 397 a little bit of a reward for what they've already done, you also have the ability to put in bug reports, raise your voice on feature wishes that you want to see in the game, and you can help development this to become even more better game than what it already is. Guys, don't get me wrong, this game is not perfect, this game is not finished in a single way, but driving the hypercars randomly around is awesome. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. When will I drive the Funwall? The Funwall is a little bit of a sad story, because it is between 2 and 4 seconds slower than any other hypercar. And yes, this was done on purpose, as the real car has been that slow as well. So you won't see me drive the Funwall. Not much, if at all. At least not competitively. Garage build, it's fine for you if you wait personally. I won't beat you to buying it right now. How long is early access to take? Nope, I have no information on how long it will take. I hope that LMDh is putting out a roadmap on which features to come when. If I had a raw guess, I would expect it takes at least up till the end of the year, until all the features are in, but I do not know. I really do not know. It's Skyscream. I love this sim. I love hypercars. I love running around in these. And you see they are challenging to drive, but you can drive them out of the box. Kudos to the esport people that have built the base setups for this car. It is really great. Like, you know, you can just hop in and just drive. Which of the hypercars have the best top speed? It is the Clickenhaus. If you're able to run it with low wings, but since you need a lot of wings for the Clickenhaus, it's not the fastest anymore. I think in balance of performance regards, the Toyota had the best straight line speed, while having acceptable stability. Jordi, we do not know when they are going to release the full game. Yes, the guy, well, I don't know. If I had a guess, and this is just me speculating, if they are selling it now for 30 as an early access with co-op missing, which is one of their key things, with VR support missing, and with a custom multiplayer missing, that is, I would say, roughly 50% of the core features missing. So I would not be surprised if the full price in the end is going towards 50, between 50 and 60 euro is my guess. Again, I'm just speculating, I have no idea, but if it costs 30 today or 33, I am expecting an end price between 50 and 60. As it was said in the FAQ that the more features come, the higher the price will go. They didn't say how much, but... it's fine. If you don't want to be a beta tester, fair enough. I can understand that decision. Bill, I can only hope that you keep watching the streams and keep watching the progress of the game. Victor, I need more oversteer. Yes, perhaps I need a little bit more oversteer with the setup, and we can fix that. So, putting on the setup, advanced, we go up to a 3 flicks with the front diffuser. Let's keep it at 4. On the suspension side, we are... increasing the ride height really doesn't get me anywhere, does it? Power, coast, preload is fine. E-maps are fine. Onboard TC could probably be a bit lower. Suspension. I mean, there is still way to go, but I think I'm gonna rather deal with the rear end anti-roll bar a bit and take the toe in out a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. I'll see how this goes. Peugeot is an interesting car for sure. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it actually drives nice. There is nothing to argue about that. There he is. I am using Sim Industries Formula Pro Elite. I do not know. I have not used Track IR ever on R Factor 2, hence I can't really comment on this one. Yes, Victor, you can move the seat. Oops, that was AI. So you can see moving the seat up and down, and you can also change the field of view. Because I can't read out your name, GTP Cars, building or being able to build a setup is a long process of learning. That is a lot reading on what car parts are doing what, understanding how they work, how they interfere with each other, and in the beginning it's a lot of trial and error that you just need to go through, basically. It's a long process actually. Slipstream, I have tested all of the tracks. I do not have favorites as such, but I like Portimao. Portimao is high detail and is really fun and technical to drive. Really nice track. Obviously I love Spa. And Fuji wasn't too bad either, it's just extremely hard on the tire. Peptic Feather, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah guys, and if you appreciate the stream, if you appreciate the insight here for Le Mans Virtual, and remember tomorrow I'm gonna bring out tutorials for the hybrid system. It's going to be a 40-minute video. I'm already sorry for the length. I'm going to go into a more condensed version as well, but hybrid system fully explained, 40-minute video tomorrow on my YouTube channel as a live premiere. And also I will point out the differences of Le Mans Ultimate compared to R Factor 2. Gonna do that as a edited video as well. That will be a bit shorter, will also contain the hybrid system, of course. Probably looking at 20 minutes hopefully in the end. It's not done yet. I need to do that tonight. So those are the things that are currently work in progress, and if you're interested in seeing those guys, then please give this video a like, subscribe us on the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch if you are not done with that already. I would really appreciate you guys' support, because I can assure you this is not only today that we're going to do Le Mans Ultimate. We're going to switch back between R Factor 2 and Le Mans Ultimate for the next couple of weeks and months. According to what's going on, special events on R Factor 2, league racing on R Factor 2s, what we're going to stream, and then of course competition system racing, setup guides for the hypercars on Le Mans Ultimate. That's going to be a thing. Noah Ebanks, how is the tire model? I'm gonna say this again. Hypercars tire model is the best tire model you've seen in sim racing. Quote me, no, hold me accountable for that speech. Well, that's literally what I think. I need to see that apex a bit better. Car has much more front end now with the front splitter in place. almost too much. It was too tight. GTP cars, you're welcome. That's why we're here. Richard, good afternoon. Yeah, it has a few bugs, but yeah, let's see. They're going to push for updates and for bug fixes for sure. I would be surprised if they did not. They have to. This has to be top priority. Wellington Sonato Auerbach, thank you for your subscription on the YouTube channel. Yeah guys, apart from that, if you're watching this as a video on demand later on, let me know what you think about the game. Put it down in the comments area below, and also you guys, I would also appreciate if you come back to the stream after we're done. Put your thoughts down in the comments area below. We're gonna get some discussion and interaction going here on the channel. That would be massively appreciated. As in, what is the future, the further plan for today? I'm going to do a competition race in the LMP2 around the Algarve coast at 8 PM. So right in the aftermath of this hypercar stream, and then perhaps we're gonna go back with some hypercar racing at different tracks. Let's see, who knows? Evening is young, so to say. Yeah, I really appreciate your time, and I hope you appreciate your time here on the Le Mans Ultimate stream as well. I haven't spoken too much about the Peugeot yet because we're driving straight most of the time. As you can see though, after the little setup adoptions, themes that we can have a little bit more performance out of the car, especially in low speed turns. The ARB is pushing the rear around a bit better, which also gets the rear end a bit more loose on the exits. Yes, I can do that. As soon as we're done with the Peugeot and swapping the cars, I'm gonna show you the settings for my force feedback. Remember the force feedback profile of my SimView, and here in the Porsche curves you can really see the front splitter doing the job now. As we're gaining a little bit of time through the turns. My SimView profile is the R Factor 2 profile as a base. I haven't changed anything on that. No Daytona, Sach, that is correct. So, since Le Mans Ultimate is obviously the official WEC game, I'm expecting probably annual DLCs for the game in order to update for the 2024 regulations, cars and whatnot. So obviously I do not know if there is any new content planned, but I would assume... randomly keeping the car while having my brain elsewhere. But I would assume that next year at this time we have maybe 2 or 3 more hypercars. Whatever comes in the 2024 season on top. I think Lamborghini is coming on top in 2024. What else? I think BMW has an entry. And Alpine maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Not quite sure. But that also is just speculation. Also not sure what's happening on the GT3 side, obviously, because from this year onwards it's going to be GT3 cars. Will that mean we get GT3s as well in Le Mans Ultimate? I don't know. Do we need them? Personally, I'd be probably happy to have them only in R Factor 2. But yeah, if it is a thing to update Le Mans Ultimate with accurate content in the future, then I think we're gonna see GT3s at some point here as well, which will be awesome sprint racing. Esports drift slide, no chance. I told you so before. Give this one more lap and then we're done with the Peugeot. Ah, Isotta Francini. Let's see if that's happening. So once again guys, tomorrow I put out a video for how the hybrid is working. Tomorrow I will go to put out a video compared to R-Factor 2. What new features does this game has ready for us? It's something that I need to work on tonight and tomorrow in the morning. But I have this plan to go out tomorrow for you guys. So yeah, if you don't want to miss it, it's on the YouTube channel only. People on Twitch, !sub into the chat. I will be your friend here. Gonna send you a link to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, ring the bell, and don't miss the notification about the live premiere of a tutorial regarding the hybrids and the features of Le Mans Ultimates. Stampsoid, welcome and thank you for a raid with 132. Really much appreciated. Thank you for joining us. How did you like Le Mans Ultimate? How was it for you? Besides the bugs and glitches that I fear you may have been struck by. Right, can we improve this lap time? Let's go. Cap Zombie, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Everyone, massive shout out. Whoops. Once again, so this is surely the front splitter being a thing, or the way anti-roll bar on that bump. You had a blast. That's awesome. That's so great to hear. I'm really curious how I would call you a non-regular R-Factor 2 racer, sim racer, how they like the game. Because it's, to me, very important that the game will be perceived as being an early access with all the bugs, but at the same time, I hope that people are seeing the potential the game has. So that's great to hear that you had a blast. Eric, no worries. Thank you for joining and thank you for being part of the stream today. Appreciate your time. Have a good one. 40, the telemetry is a race lap app. So yes, it's an external app and it works for F123, iRacing, Assetto Corsa 1, Assetto Corsa Competizione, R-Factor 2 and Le Mans Ultimate. Hello Martin. No worries. Thank you for joining the live feed. Turn 7 Racing. Yes, I'm doing awesome. I'm having a blast here with the Peugeot. Still trying to beat the lap time from before the setup change. Right on the edge with the timing here. How is the crash physics? What do you mean exactly by that, Seydu? Martin, you can't even start it? What is the issue? Fabiano, hello and welcome. Oh wait, I already have beaten my lap time. So I would need to repeat my lap time and actually prove that the tires are lasting longer than a lap. So let's do it. I think for some reason the triples option had an issue on release day. I think the guys are working to get the triples option back to work. Or back to working into the game. I'm not quite sure though. What is the current situation there, as I don't have the triples. Okay, we need to rely on that four-wheel drive on the front to turn the car around here in the high-speed section. Come on, turn. Yes. Roughly 1.5 tenths. Turn 7, this is the only car you want to try. Too much of a send into the chickens. Yeah. Sadly won't give this one a purple in the end. Anyway, We're coming to the end of the Peugeot here at Le Mans. We're now heading into the Porsche at Portimao. And before doing that, though, you guys wanted to see force feedback settings. Not sure whether you can see the debris, but obviously impacts and the damage that results from it, that is somewhat realistic indeed, yes. Controls, force feedback. Here you go. Take your pens out, note it down, take a screenshot, do whatever you want with it, but do it. Some known issue for those people that have a dead force feedback. Steering torque sensitivity, put it to 100%. And do not, again, do not pay any attention to one of these here. And if you're driving a direct drive or a non-wheel or belt-driven motor, have this disabled. So note down steering torque sensitivity 100%, very important. And those according to your liking or according to your wheelbase. Steering bump stop degrees 30, also very important. Keep it there. Desma, Aria, yes, the game is a bit hard on graphics. I have MSAA 4 times, post effects low, but the rest I'm playing on Ultra. I have a 3080 RTX though, so of course I have a little bit of performance under the belt here. Oscar Wilde, I'm absolutely with you, but it is what it is. We're never gonna change that, sadly. Okay, guys, Algarve, Hypercar, Porsche 963. And here we go. Gonna have a heavy railroad again so that we have some grippy. Slipstream GG, thank you for joining us. And yeah, guys, again, if you appreciate what we're doing here, if you appreciate this release party, please give the video a like, subscribe us on the YouTube channel for more tutorials for tomorrow regarding the hybrid system fully explained and the new features compared to the known R-Factor 2 sim. All right, onto the car setup as per usual. Wheels and brakes, maximum brake pedal force, and I think that brake bias is a bit too far on the front. Right, guys. We have a LMDh car. LMDh means hybrid power at all times, and it means cold start out of pit garage, so that will be only done on the electric engine. Here comes the engine. Isn't that beautiful? Nope, mud flap. Sadly, we do not have any profiles and we need to manually adjust force feedback at the minute per car. So, let's enjoy some cold tires as we have 20 degrees cold tires here at Portimao. We've spoken about that before. This is how cold tires should feel, not like an iRacing where the car just randomly snaps on you. Yes, we have no grip whatsoever in the opening corners here at all. Rosaria, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Sounds like a loose cable or something. Is that the case? Hey, Metnam. Yes, everything good, everything great. How about you? So, tires are slowly coming up. Temperature, you can still see blue and green surface temperature. 36 degrees. Christian UK, thank you for letting me know. David, you mean on stream or for your own liking, for your own experience? I'll need to be a bit slower. Throttle here through the final kink. 46 degrees, not quite perfect yet, but we're getting there. Metnam, yeah, I think for an early access the game is somewhat alright, somewhat decent. I mean, at least we get all the cars and all the tracks already, right? So you will see a clear difference, cold tires versus somewhat warm tires into turn 2. Ah, she was slidey a bit there. Proper hypercar. Guys, honestly, the Ferrari and the Porsche, these cars are so fun to drive. They got such an awesome neutral balance. They are biting on the front. They are sometimes a bit loose on the rear, but it's manageable. You have to drive the cars with momentum. It's amazing. It is so much fun. And as you can see, esports slides are not working really. Ballot for Justice, thank you for the follow and welcome. Yeah, slowly but surely out of the low speed turns, rely on that traction control. Don't overuse it, don't overdo it. The great thing is, when you really slide the rear, you can catch it, but you lose time, and you're certainly not going to be quicker. And this is why I say this is the perfect and the best tire model that we've seen. Okay, maybe it's not perfect, but it is certainly the best that we've ever seen. That tire is still coming up to temperature 65 degrees. So roughly 55 minutes till we take out the LMP2 around Algarve again for a competition race. I need one more race to make it to the silver ranking, and then I am able to do intermediate daily races with the Ferrari Hypercar in a fixed setup condition. Roger Leopardi, thank you so much for your subscription on the YouTube channel. Welcome to the stream. What do you guys think of Portimao? Let me know down in the comments area below. Hutgno, is it possible to see tire wear on the HUD beside the speedometer without bringing up the MFD? No. Not. You either need to have a dashboard for it, or you need to work it through the MFD. Race Pingu? Yes, exactly. Lighting the rear as an RF2 isn't fast. I can try this for you next time we go into this hairpin here. Marco V1, thank you for the follow. And I can tell you because why it's not fast, because it's not going to work. You've seen the rear just stepping out like this. But of course the esports slides in hairpins is the thing that we want to look at. You see the delta is at least not faster. It was kind of the same fast, if anything. Yes, you can change the ERS modes in Hypercar. You can Oh, that is the traction control, sorry. Here, motor map on, off. There's indications everywhere. So I need to put the brake bias a bit further to the back though, so that I'm able to even introduce an esports slide. And then we see whether we can do it. Nope, not here. So a bit further to the back. There goes your esports slide. No chance. The moment you introduce it, you die. Paps zombie, no. As far as I know, the hut is not movable. Can we see somewhere what is the optimal tire pressures, and can we change from PSI to KPA? KPA is standard. I think you can have PSI if you use an Imperial metrics. Triple screen support is available in the game. Currently due to an issue with the game files on release day, the triple setting is currently unavailable, but I know that they are working on a fix to bring out triple settings. Sadly, I can't speak compared to GT7. I need to ask Kirith, I guess. But I don't consider GT7 to be close to R Factor 2, so... But again, I probably can't speak about that. Yep, here goes your esports slide. No chance. You have to have full access of your driving skills in order to keep the car going the way it shall go. Which is perfect, right? This is what we want. Take a hairpin like a hairpin, turn in on the steering wheel, wait for the car to rotate around. Migas Alpas! I just bounced back the question, what do you think of the game so far? I mean, you can still see that the car can still step out a little bit on the rear and can be rotated with a throttle over the rear, but the moment you are about to go a little bit too high over that slip angle, you instantly lose the grip, and I think this is absolutely perfect as an answer for the drift slidiness of RF2. Like, occasionally it can happen that you can drift slide a hairpin and it is not that much slower, but it's not like you can do this on a consistent basis. It's more like a mistake. So here we need some adjustments to go faster, especially as the final turn could or should be flat in my opinion. But this is one of the Porsche characteristics. As the Porsche is an LMDh, it only has rear-wheel driven axis. That means hybrid is also deploying at the back, which means we're lacking a front end that can pull us around a fast speed turn. So tires now at 80 degrees. They have finally reached their, well, at least partially their operating window, and you see we go faster and faster still. Munchies, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Guys, this feels like a big blast, honestly. These hypercars are so lovely to drive. It's a huge challenge, but it is so rewarding if you just get it right. You really feel the cars, right? You get a sense of what can the car do, what can the tires do, what can they not do, and how to drive around that. It is so logical, it makes so much fun. The speed is incredible. Their speed is incredible, their brakes are incredible. The 499p bites a little more in the high-speed turns due to the e-motor making it a four-wheel drive. LMDh car is not a four-wheel drive, just a rear-wheel drive. This was as much as it can get slidey with an eSport slide. As you can see, maybe the exit was good now, but I've lost way too much time on the entry already, so... That Game TV, thank you for the follow and welcome. There are deploy and harvest modes, but it works without the driver. So all we need to do, I'm gonna demonstrate that on the main straight. Can also demonstrate it here on the MFD in the electric area. I can show you another feature that I'm just looking at. So let's say we want to extend our stint by 3 laps. Have a look onto these LEDs. On that side and on this side. And we're coming towards turn 1, and then I'm gonna go on about the electric things. They start to flash yellow, purple, guiding you with a lift and coast in order to be maximum efficient on your fuel. So this is a new feature. The LEDs guiding your lift and coast mapping for maximum efficiency. As soon as they turn on, I tend to lift the throttle, and they kind of turn off as soon as you approach the braking zone. It is not 100% perfect yet, it's still work in progress and still under development, but I think this is an awesome feature right there. It's giving you a little bit of an indication. Esport teams would probably find their own way of saving the fuel best way anyway, but if you are kind of, I don't want to say something bad now, but if you're kind of sure in how you best save the fuel to stretch your stint when you race against the AI, you can flip on these switches. Best do it right after the pit stop, because this system doesn't work if it says, okay, this is not possible to do it. So if I would now say lap target is 5 to extend, then the system wouldn't even turn on, because it's like there's no way in hell you can save that much fuel being somewhat competitive in order to go 5 laps longer. But here with 3 laps to go, it still does it. And if you are unsure on how much you need to save, where the best need to save, I think it's a good indication to give you a good feel and to give you a good idea on what you need to do. And the great thing is really, like, even if you lift off, the moment this LEDs turn off is mostly the moment when you should hit the brakes anyway. From my understanding, that it's not how it is supposed to work. It says you should lift as soon as all the lights are illuminated, but to me it's more like I start lifting when they start to illuminate, and then I hit the brakes short after they distinguish again. Yeah, in real life, this is exactly what they do. The engineers are programming them for the drivers to give them an idea how much lift and coast they need to do. But features like this are going to be explained and shown off more often, and tomorrow, especially in the video that shows the new features compared to what we know from rFactor 2 already. So 2 videos coming out tomorrow. Hypercar hybrid system fully explained, and what are the new features compared to rFactor 2, and how does it compare to rFactor 2 in general, maybe. Maybe the comparison to RF2 not so much, as there is enough of features to put in a 50-minute video. Anyway, I owe someone an idea about hybrid. So you can see the hybrid down there, how much battery and if we're deploying, and if I turn on this knob, I can put the motor map between off, 10 and up to 50 kilowatts of deploy. Same goes with the regeneration. I can do up to 170 on the Porsche here, 200 in the Ferrari, and car automatically deploys if you have the regeneration map not off, so you can obviously turn it off as well. That will have catastrophic effects on your braking balance. That's exactly what it does. Because the motor map, the regenerator, is located somewhere. It is part of the braking system. There is a brake-by-wire system that you need to run and control the brake bias with. And as you should have regen on at all the times, this is what you should put your brake bias on and the brake migration. So the car automatically regens energy on braking, and it automatically deploys energy on the throttle. However, if you are racing a Ferrari or a Toyota hypercar, then the deploy starts at only more than 190 kph and above. Yeah, and if you guys want to know more about all that hybrid stuff, then I can only encourage you to check out our hybrid system fully explained video that's going to come tomorrow. Already a disclaimer, I've turned a little bit too deep into an explanation, so it is 40 minutes long. But I guess if you want to get a full hang of it, you don't mind. So, let's do a little bit of work to the setup here. As I think I would like to have the front end to be a bit more bitey in general. So, that means we are putting a bit less power, a bit less coast. That will get the car to rotate a lot more. Still put a little less brake bias for better trail braking. On the suspension though, I'm softening the front by a click. And because I want to have good rotation in the low speed turns, I re-increase the right height on the rear a little bit. Anti-roll bar, rear wing. I'm gonna put the rear wing to 6, maybe that helps the rotation a tiny bit for the fast turn. Alright, here we go. Sweet. Yes, I'm also working on a beginner's guide regarding the settings. That will take a little while though. Gonna have it maybe out towards the weekend. Because I also need to wait and see a little bit what the feature updates are doing. So, here we go. Dancing with the cold tires again. It is crazy to drive, but it is, I think, literally very realistic to drive that way anyway. I love it too. It's going to be a huge thing for endurance races when you're coming in for that pit stop, changing the tires, have no tire warmers, and then kind of need to maintain position. So an undercut quickly becomes a bad idea. And you're actually better off overcutting the people. You guys know that from Virtual Endurance Championship, where lap 1, a new and fresh tire is always faster than any old tire. Here it might be different. After a double stint, if you can extend compared to your competitors, that might give you the edge of overtaking them if you're right behind them. And if you then are out on the cold tires, of course their tires will have a little temperature already, but first you have the track position. And if they are a little bit unlucky with the traffic, you have gained that position. I think that's going to be a huge strategic element in the future. Sully said, yes, exactly, that is what this hypercar is doing. You start it out of the pits being only on the electric motor. Actually, I think you can also do that here on the open world. So let me quickly park the car on top of the hill. Demonstrate. Neutral. Engine off. Ignition on. First gear. And here we go. Not that powerful as in the pits, because... Let me see if the pit limiter is changing that actually. Nope. But in the pit road you get more power for getting off the line. Can we choose what tires get changed, like just rear left and front left? Yes, we can. I can show you something else. So I'm gonna go into these. Let's see. I only want the rear left and the rear right to be changed. We have 26 new tires available at our discretion. So we have new medium, no change, no change. So box. Then I can also show you about that ignition thing maybe. How it pulls off in the pit road. That seems like much more front end already. Too quick. It's gonna get me a penalty. So we can check the penalty system too. It's awesome. Alright, here we come. New features. R-Factor 2 peasants, be aware. There we go. That's how it works. Now have a look into the MFD. I can come in for the pits again and pull on these used mediums. I would be able to. I don't want to, because I have a stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane in the first place. So I think that's what we're gonna rip first, and then you see that the front tire has already got some heat. Let that rear end swing. Let's go. Yeah, traction control works like a beauty. Driflish, hello. Stigmatic, hello and welcome. Any tips for people who can't even start the game? Yeah. Go into the LMU Discords and ask for help. Beyond that, I think there is an issue with the Windows Defender. So check your antivirus, whether the exe gets blocked for whatever reason. This is an issue people are looking into. But the antivirus system could trigger that. And also, if it just doesn't launch the very first minute, maybe give it 3 or 4 minutes of loading time for the very first time, as there is a couple of files that needs to be created on the first startup. Enjoy, and yeah, let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments area below after the stream, as we're coming for another box for the penalty. No, you don't have to create a special profile, as there is no special profile as such. Yeah, and then we're gonna put in a couple of more laps here with the Porsche. And then I think it's time for me to go for a quick break, maybe. Should I stay live? I need to change the stream anyway on YouTube. So, but now we go for a little bit more of performance. So, back to tire. Okay, tires are coming up to temperature. Sully said, I haven't had to do that, but maybe it's a bug that is somehow down on your end. I haven't had the issue, but feel free to report it. I think on the Le Mans Ultimate Discord there are links out where you can file bug reports. Happiness, that is the SimHub plugin that I got going to work. So let's go for a little bit of lap time performance. Go for a free push, don't use that curb too much. Yep, with the same DLL as R Factor 2 indeed. Just have to put it into the plugins data folder on the LM100 folder. Maybe I can help with a tutorial on that next week, but I wanna wait until SimHub and maybe also RaceLab app are coming around with a dedicated version for Le Mans Ultimate, as it should not be a big job for them. So, you know, we can leave that. So let's see. We have a better rotation around final turn. Yes. Tire is smoking away though, but let's see. Maybe it's faster. See what we can do. Yeah, eSport slide, and you see on the top delta that we have been slower straight away. The bias maybe a bit too far to the back. I'll do an introduction video with the settings for Le Mans Ultimate like I did with RF2, don't worry. This won't come out the first week, I think. Oof. Starting up RF2 to do a live competition with the LMP2 out of curiosity. Graining incoming. That would be an interesting feature for sure. Emperor Pegasus, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the stream. The car is a lot more rear tail happy now. I hope that that is just because of the rear tires being a bit fresher, being a bit colder at the same time. But they are going to improve. Rise 1624, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the release party with the Hypercars. That rear end is too loose. So I'm carrying a bit too much speed for the turns. This is Portimao. What are we lacking? 310? I need to do a better job into this uphill one. Come on, let's do this. Next lap is going to be hopefully the PB. Two and a half tenths. Yeah, you see there's much more performance in the fast final turn. We carry a good tenth more speed. Yep, exactly. This is the track where F1 has been a couple of years ago during the pandemic. Oh, finally good turn one. Stay tight here. Well, R Factor 2 is still going to be used for the things that Le Mans can't cover off, like Formula cars, like touring cars, Porsche Cup car, all these things. A bit too direct over that curb. Scrubbing off the speed myself. Putting the wheel into the grass here. Anyway, get this top whole corner right, so stay a bit tight here on the left. Brake, yes. No, no. Yes, Martin, on the game settings in Steam there should be a language option. So, final lap, guys. PR6, this is the best tire model you'll find in Simracing right now. Quote me. Beautiful turn, beautiful line in there. Almost purple. Just brake a little early on top of the hill here. Almost lost it. Need to take that momentum down the hill. Rear end gets loose. Going to be the decider, the final turn. What can we do out of those 1.5 tenths? Ah, that is too aggressive onto that curb. Can we stay on the track? Oof, only about just. Hey, max power. Anyway, it is 1.5 tenths faster almost. Yes. On Hypercar, much better tire model than on R Factor 2 for sure. And I hope they will use and enhance the Hypercar model on to the other car. So there was a little bit of an esports drift slide, but you had to immediately catch it, and at the end it's kind of same fast, and I think this with that we can really live well. Too much grounding on the curb, too much grinding there. Kind of missed the entry. Yeah, last lap, this turn has been a real beauty. This is not as fast, even if it's just marginally slower. Let's see what we can do up the hill. Take a bit more entry. Better line through the final turn, but I've lifted for it. Let's see whether we get the time back up till the line. Looks like we do. Another 50 thousandths is what we gain. 33.0. Guys, I think we call this a stream. Box, park the car. Yes, Bono? I've said that quote like an hour ago already. Right, we return to garage, we go onto the competition system and have a check what we are running for. Orica in 21 minutes. Well, there we go. Guys, we're gonna call this a stream. Let me know what you think on Le Mans Ultimate. Put it down in the comments area below. Once again, tomorrow we're gonna come out with more tutorials, with more informative videos and so on. Yeah, let me know what's your thoughts. Let me know what is your ideas, what is your thoughts, what is your impressions, what is your, well, your first thought, your first results out of Le Mans Ultimate. Really looking forward to see that down in the comments area below. Anyway, guys, we're back live in 20 minutes. We're gonna change the stream for that. I'm going to stay live on Twitch for a moment for these 20 minutes, so guys can just let the game run. And yeah, again, for these tutorials tomorrow, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you ring the bell, and receive notifications when we're live. Guys, see you in a bit.